So we have had all crazy different type of recipes here. Anything from a orange pomegranate, what is that thing called? Orange pomander to cut up in half chicken to dog food to spatchcock chicken. And if you check out all the episodes, we have brought you a variety of things. So it's not a one size fits all show here, folks. You can find something that fits your fanny. Okay, what's next?
All right, what's next? Carrots in my next bowl. I'm just gonna scrape that out. Our carrots, eggs, very important part. I have 2 apples, 2 grated apples.
Cut up like that?
So I just cut them just cut around the core. I cored them and then I just grated them.
Is that from a cheese grater?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Grated them with my cheese grater, which I usually do with a Cuisinart, but I grated them today because I didn't want to get out.
Fun.
Yeah, I didn't want to get out the Cuisinart. Then I did for the carrots because it was taking forever.
Oh boy. There you have it.
My coconut oil, 2/3 cup of coconut oil.
There's not one way to do things, folks. What do they say? 6 different ways, half a dozen? Half a dozen the other. So there's more than one way to do one thing. You're stirring up all your. So other recipes say beat your eggs first. Is what you're gonna say?
don't really care about that.
Okay.
I just add everything and mix it with the water. I don't add all of it at the same time because I drizzle it throughout as my dough is coming together to see, because you don't want it too liquidy. So that looks about right. It looks just like a mush is what it's gonna look like.
All right.
Then I'm just gonna add it to my dry ingredients.
Do you need help? Need me to help you? I'm your sous chef here. You just asked me to help you. I know you and Mama, when y'all get in the kitchen, you don't need help, but I'm here if you need me. Mama taught me well. None of that goes to waste, right?
Yeah.
Can you put that in the sink there, chapter?
It is quite.
Thank you.
Thank you. Quite a lot of flour, so it looks juicy when you add it, and it looks mushy, but it's gonna come together. And I can already see I need more water.
All right.
So I'm just gonna add that. And I usually only use about half a cup, so I make a lot dog treats. And it usually lasts me sometimes a month, but this time I'm making it for gifts too.
Oh wow!
So,
look at you! I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I'm making my normal batch, but I'm not gonna have
thoughtful gift.
Not gonna have as much left, so I can just.
So is that the consistency that does that spatula look like it's working, or do you move it around? Yeah.
So.
Oh my goodness! Let me do it for you. You got a little baby grabbing that peppermint. Oh, Chapman, you can do it.
Roll my sleeves up. And
watch your finger. Don't cut it.
Normally, just go in with my hand. And
children, we are making cookies. And by cookies, I mean dog treats.
That sounds good.
We made cookies one time. See, we did a lot of recipes. We got chocolate chip cookies. We got pomanders. We got chicken. What else do we need in these recipes? Drop a comment. Drop a line in the comments if there's a recipe that you want to see us cook. If there's something that you want to see us throw together, give us some ideas. What do you love doing around Christmas? What are your favorite family secret recipes? Don't give me macaroni and cheese. I want to know the secrets. That thing you pull out to impress everybody. That's the recipe I want, and I want it from all parts of the world, not just American cuisine. I want it from everywhere. But anyway, what's next?
So I'm gonna add a little bit more water, and I might use this whole thing. So sometimes my carrots are juicier. Don't know how that happens, but
that kid is amazing.
What you actually make?
We're making dog treats.
So you can still see it still a bit dry. I'm looking for a darker dough.
Do you need some more water?
Yeah, so you
from the sink or whatever?
You can just add that
or add this and then get you some more? Or that might do it?
Yeah, it might do it. So, it's always going to look different though, so depending on the apple I'm using or the carrot or the dough is somewhat going to be a bit different with measurements, so it's okay if you add have to add a bit more flour or water. That's the only thing sometimes I have to play around with is more flour or water, depending on what ingredients I use. So yeah, that. And it might do it so it's not really a sticky dough. It just comes together in a disc, basically like pie dough.
Okay.
But for dogs. It just comes together in a disc. So I just work it with my hands until it comes together.
Okay.
And that looks like it'll do it, cause
yeah, that's looking pretty good.
So I just.
Do you want it to be like all together in the balls? What you're saying? Okay.
So in the thing, it'll basically come together like this, and that looks really good. So it's gonna look, for my training bites is what I'm making today.
Okay.
It's gonna look like this for training bites.
Yeah.
Training bites are a lot lighter. I also, to keep them from sticking together, I roll them in flour before, just a light dusting, not like heavy, but I roll them in flour before I bake them. So training bites always tend to be a bit lighter for me than a dog biscuit. So our dough is done being mixed. That's what it should look like. It's all combined in the thing. It's not very sticky. When I touch it, that's all I get on my hands. So I'm just going to take a little bit of flour.
This coffee.
Just dump it out. Do you mind taking that,
Got
please? Today I'm just going to form it into a little square here. You don't have to do that, but I like to do that because I can just get a line and cut it for my training treats. Sprinkle the top with flour, and then I'm just going to roll it out with my pin. Now with this, since it's such a thick dough, as you can see, because I made a big batch,
that's amazing.
I sometimes cut it out.
Do you want me to roll it because of your hand, or are you good?
Yeah, you want to try?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me roll it for you.
I'm actually going to
you're going to separate it.
You can still roll it. This is what makes it really easier.
You're a little professional. Golly, my goodness gracious.
Right, and then just roll that out. And add a bit more flour, because it can get a bit sticky though when you roll it out, because you are working it, so it's still going to get sticky. So you just keep it floured. And then roll that out, and it's going to be not too thin, but it's going to be thinner. So depending on your dog, you can make them thin training bites, but I like thick, like training bites. They're going to be little, but they're going to be thick.
Is that the way it's?
Yeah, so you just keep flouring it. Mine's sticky. You just flour it. Because it's such a big batch. Like I said, when you work it, it's going to get stickier as you roll it out. Because it's not sticky when you're doing it, and then when you roll it out, it gets sticky.
Learning how to roll in space. So does it need to be?
Yeah, you can turn. If I just
Lift it up and turn it.
Yeah, you usually just lift it up. And I do this. It will stick to the bottom sometimes. It's totally fine. That's normal with this dough, especially with how big a batch. So it seems funny, but I have this. What's the name of this, Mama? Pastry cup?
Oh, a little long carrot there. Can I take that out?
Yeah, you can take that out. I was actually going to take that out. I have this pastry cutter here. So what I do when he's done rolling. Is that thin enough? Yeah, let me try it. That's perfect. So I'm going to cut. I'm just going to show you the strip since I already have it cut. Move this over just a bit. Alright, now you can see. And with me, what I like to do is I get even cuts when I do this. I also get even cuts when I cut it across.
For your bites. That is brilliant.
So my bites are all even size.
That is so smart.
When I cut them, and you can do multiple at a time.
I tell you what, Mimi must have taught you that. She's very symmetrical. Did she tell you use that cutting your biscuits?
Actually,
Mama would have just been in here chopping it.
Yeah,
Been all different. So.
I don't like to teach Mimi.
Yes.
So this is where they're all kind of sticky. So my secret to the training bites,
That is so awesome.
I rolled them in flour, and it gives them a cool look. But also, it just seems to be my secret. They bake all even. It's just some secret that just makes them very nice.
All right, so you'll cut strips.
Oops.
You'll cut strips and
Yep.
you'll roll them in flour and put them on the pan.
You want to try?
Sure.
So you've got two options. I like this tool because it cuts longer strips than this. I have done this. It gives you equal strips as well, but you don't have to do it. You can also do this with a pizza cutter if you don't have these tools, and it doesn't have to be this particular, but I just like it to be like this. But if you have the tools, that's just an option.
I probably did a longer bite than, but I guess you can cut them in half.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, so I get long bites like that too, and that's what's beautiful about the pastry cutters. You can just cut them in half again, or you can get a knife and like make it more. Because those are longer, and I use these
cut
for.
them in half, like I can just.
So this is actually the only treat that motivates Goldie to jump. She is like very, what's the word?
Agile.
Agile. Yeah, she's very agile.
An agility dog.
Yeah, she's an agility dog, and she will do it. She's not like lazy, but she has to have something that motivates. She's not just gonna jump these jumps.
Okay.
So she loves these treats.
We will work on cutting these. Is there anything else that they would need to do to prep the treats before baking?
I would say no. And it's really very simple with these. So I would say yes, definitely flour them.
Okay.
It's a bit further with the.
If they're this wet, will they always be this wet? Or if somebody didn't have as wet of treats, would you still flour them?
Yeah, so if you didn't have as wet as treats, I would still
flour.
But especially if they're this wet. If you didn't have this wet of treats, you do have an option. So if you didn't have this wet as treats, it's kind of more for the look than what it does if you don't have as wet as treats.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you don't, but I like them to be like this. To me, this is perfect dough.
Okay.
It's always like this.
So we are going to chop these things up, get them floured, get them tossed in flour like we're frying chicken. And then after that, we'll prep the pan, put it in there, and we'll bring you back for that part so you know how to throw them in the oven the right way.
Yeah, so I did remember these. I left mine in the fridge for about a week or so because I didn't have, and I was only using it on the two dogs. Since I'm making it as Christmas presents, I am gonna use it all because I need
that's a good
lot.
point. So if they made too much and they wanted to save this batch, they could save
It's
that.
so much easier since it is a recipe that you might not, like you can't just like throw it together in the morning if you want it to be done. I make a huge, sometimes I make a huge batch.
Smart.
If you just buy a bunch of flour, all the ingredients for it, make a huge batch, this will, and in the freezer, it'll last even longer. So it can go for about a week more in a freezer. So I left this in the fridge for maybe a week or maybe longer. And then I just brought it out when I was ready, rolled it out, floured it, cut it up. It was so easy to have treats in 30 minutes for my dog to train him.
Yeah. Right.
No, they're done. They're a bit squishy for me, but they're gonna
harden as they cool, so keep that in mind.
Nice work, Addy.
So my dog treats are done now. I've
They
cut
look
all-
amazing, Addy.
Actually eating.
Wow.
They're a bit soft right now, but that's actually perfect.
Perfect.
And as you can see, they're a bit floury, so they're just perfect. And I've bagged one up.
So you've made bags
Yep.
because you've got Christmas orders
Everybody grab a bag.
for people ordering dog treats. That is amazing, Addy. Good job. So yeah, there you go. That's a real simple recipe that you can make for your poochies or your family's poochies. So if you need help, ask any question in the comments and we will have Addy answer it for you. Good job, Addy.